Hi guys, it's Kyarko here, back with another speed build. Today we're building a Mars station. I'm so excited to show you guys this build. This is the first time I've ever attempted anything like this. I love sci-fi builds, I love space, and I had so much fun putting this together. A couple things as we get into it. First off, I just want to preface this by saying that I know nothing about space or Mars or science or anything like that. So a little bit of this is just, imagination. It's a little bit fantastical in a way, so please don't take any sort of scientific lessons from this or see this as any sort of pitch for a real situation. Let's just say that this is an alternate universe Mars, where in this universe my design works. So yeah, that is what we're doing here. Basically, I almost called this a Mars colony, but that's not really the direction I was going with here, so I ended up calling it a Mars station. Basically what it is it's a place where I think only one person lives, and they're basically just running this whole research operation, probably for the government. I don't think this is a private company or anything like that. Just a scientific research station where somebody lives and does research and data collection and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure exactly what they're researching. I'm thinking maybe it either has something to do with plants or just the atmosphere or something like that. There's definitely a lot of energy production going on here. We have all these solar panels, so we're gonna set up this really huge solar panel thing all along the cliffside. And so this maybe energy production is also a part of this. Maybe this is an energy source for a nearby, full-on Mars colony or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I definitely feel like you guys are gonna have some pretty cool headcanons, so please let me know, because something like this is just so fun to talk about and explore. I'm just a big fan of sci-fi, you guys, so let's talk about it if you guys have any ideas. As you can see, I'm going for the very classic dome design. I say classic in the sense that whenever the first thing that I see when I Google Mars colony is always the same kind of setup where there's all these separate domes connected by tubes. I don't know the reasoning behind this design or why this is such a common thing to think of when you're going for this, Mars thing. Maybe it has something to do with just creating a fake atmosphere under the dome, and then you have all the little houses and stuff. I don't know. If anyone knows if there's an actual science behind this, let me know. But it seems to be very iconic of what people think of when they think of, space colonies. So that is definitely the direction I wanted to go in. Also, I recently downloaded the tool mod, which allows me to, you can see it right there, basically allows me to, elevate, scale, and rotate objects in ways that I would not be able to otherwise without the mod. I'm very new to the tool mod. This was pretty much just me learning how to use it, so you might see me mess around with it a little bit and be a little bit incorrect sometimes in what I'm doing. But after a little bit, I kind of got the hang of it. It felt very intuitive, and I'm really excited to use this mod in the future with all my other builds, because it definitely is opening a lot of doors for me in terms of what I can now do. And I'm really excited to mess around with it and play with it. So thank you to that creator, because this is a fantastic mod and it's definitely going to elevate my builds. And it was such a huge help in this particular build, because I had these tube tunnel things that I was using to connect all my domes together. And I was using the tool mod to rotate them onto their side. So those tubes that you see coming out of the dome, that's where people are going to be, or not people, just the one person who lives here. That's where they're going to be walking through, to get to the other dome areas that we'll build in a few minutes. But basically, the first dome, the biggest one that we're kind of focusing on right now, this is the Workstation dome. So this is where the desk and all the research data equipment stuff is going to be. You can see there's a direct I guess it's, to me, it was supposed to be a power energy line, just exiting this place to get to the two batteries on the side, or I don't know if they're batteries or some sort of energy storage, which I guess is a battery, but I don't know. Just go with it. Just come to your own conclusions about the science behind this, and let's just roll with it. It just looks cool and sciencey. But in that dome is also where we're gonna have like some plant research stuff going on, and it's basically just like the work dome. The smaller dome here, which I'm putting together now, is gonna be the like the domestic dome where the person actually like lives and eats and sleeps and stuff. And then this dome on the left here, we're not actually gonna build inside of it. It's more just like a representation. The metal dome is where either there'd be like food storage or just more research stuff. So that's what is in that last one over here. But as you can see, we have that huge satellite on it because I imagine that satellites are pretty important when you're in space, probably. And then we have this huge thing on the left here just sticking up into the sky. I don't know what it is, some sort of energy related thing. It's science, let's just say. It's just science, okay? I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. So inside our little workstation area here, we're gonna set up a desk, some equipment, like I said. Like I've been saying, I don't know like exactly what's going on here, so just roll with it. I'm basically gonna be putting in some shelves, some stuff that basically just looks sci-fi-y enough to me that I decided to put it in this build. I don't know what these pipes are. They connect to this little room on the right, which I imagine is some sort of like utility equipment. Like that room has like energy stuff in it, or like, I don't know, some sort of like flicker box, which I don't know. There's something in that room that has to do with those pipes. And then we have those monitors above, which would probably display like data and stuff about like what's going on. And then we have this whole desk set up here, which I'm actually gonna switch out for a real desk in a second. But I end up really liking how this turns out. So let's talk a little bit more about the concept. So like I said, this is a place where a single person lives and like runs this whole station. The reason I imagine it was a single person was, one, I like just personally, I just find like solitary locations a lot more fun to build, a lot more simplified. But also I kind of imagine this a little bit like, you know, in real life, like fire watch stations where people will like go out into the woods and then stay in those little like fire watch elevated cabins for like weeks or months at a time. They're usually like alone up there and stuff. That kind of inspired this in a sense that maybe this is a station that like rotates researchers and employees out like every few weeks or few months. So whoever is like here working, they're not here like permanently. This is not a permanent home. This is a temporary like working situation that they'll be here again a few weeks, few months, and then they'll rotate out and someone else will come in. So it's not really meant to be like super specifically personalized to any one person. It's more just like a general use like workplace for this, you know, either company or government. So you can see this shelf over here. I'm just putting random stuff that looks like sci-fi stuff on it. We have like a little toolbox. The thing on the right, those are like miniature like wine bottles that I sized down, but when they're sized down, they kind of look like sci-fi little tubes or something. And I thought that looked pretty cool. And then over here, we're gonna put all these like rows of what I imagine is like data books and stuff like that. And then we're gonna put in, let's see, we're almost done with this room. I kept it pretty simple in here actually. We are gonna put in this shelf to cover up the red like nozzles on the tubes, the pipes, because they were like bothering me. And then over here on this wall, we're gonna put, it kind of looks like a little binocular set that kind of juts into the wall. So I imagine that whoever works here can like look into that to the outside world, and like the screen will like show them data about the air and stuff as they look outside. So that's like another little piece of equipment there. And then we're almost about done. I was looking at like other solar panels, but I just kept the ones that I had here. So like I said, we have this huge solar panel outside on this cliff here. So either like all this energy production is for like the running of this station, or it's for like exporting purposes, like they might like send it somewhere else. Like I said, I'm not quite sure though. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, because you guys will probably have a lot better ideas than I do about this. Anyway, so out here in the front is where we have like our little plant research data area. So like I said, the dome that's covered with metal, that's gonna be like food for the person, like food production. So this is not like plant production for the person to eat. This is just like research. I don't know what these white things over the plants are. They just look really cool and sci-fi, like they're like monitoring the data of the plants. So that was my idea for those things there. So I'm just gonna pick like random plant tops and put them in. These are either like, they're probably like earth plants that they're studying in space, or maybe they're like special like space plants. I don't know. They look cool, okay? They're just cool plants. But back to the person, because I got off my train of thought. The person who lives here alone, I imagine it's probably pretty lonely, but I do think that they have like a system where they can like call their loved ones, and maybe they have like holograms where they can like other people can like be in this area too as a hologram, just walk around and like interact with that person. Or maybe they have like some sort of like AI like robot who can like speak to them, you know what I mean? Like this person's alone, but they're definitely not like entirely isolated, you know what I mean? So it's not like a cabin fever kind of situation. I don't think anyone would go crazy being here. But yeah, I'm just installing more like battery things on the side, just, sci-fiing it up. I'm so happy with how this turned out, you guys. Like, I really was like worried that this concept would not work out in terms of the build, just because I've never like tackled anything like this. I don't know, wanted to push myself, wanted to try something new, and this was definitely very, very, very fun to do. Like I said, I love sci-fi stuff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, what's that movie called? The Martian, right? If you guys have seen that, it's, I haven't seen it in a very, very long time, so I'm probably gonna misremember a few details, but this guy's like stuck in space. Is he on Mars? He might be on Mars, I don't know. Well, Martian, so probably on Mars. And then he has to like survive while they're like trying to get him back to Earth and stuff, so he like grows his own food and like runs his own station, stuff like that. So that like idea of like a solitary person in space, like trying to survive, also like inspired me a little bit in terms of just putting this together. I should rewatch that movie. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations for sci-fi movies, because like I've seen a lot, but probably not as much as like hardcore sci-fi fans, and I definitely want to like consume more sci-fi because I love it. What was I gonna say? Annihilation's a pretty good sci-fi film too, also. And Arrival is probably like my all-time favorite sci-fi film, so definitely check that out if you are interested in science fiction. Okay, I got off track. I'm sorry. Okay, so now in this little dome, this is the residential dome, right? The domestic dome. So this is where the person like lives their life. So they have a little kitchenette over here. If anyone like in the comment section works for NASA and this is like totally incorrect, like how we would do this, again, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just like fun for me to build. So they have this little kitchen. They have, they're gonna have like a little coffee pot because coffee is essential even in space, I guess. They have a little fridge down there, and these little lights above the doors, which I imagine those lights can also turn into like emergency lights, like they would like turn red if anything like was happening, like the dome cracked or something, the lights would turn red. And then there's gonna be this comfy little chair, a little monitor so the person can like watch TV or just like chill out, I guess. And then we're just gonna pretty much just go in and furnish it like I would do anything else. It's not like super sci-fi-y, like it's like, I mean, it definitely has like a domestic sense to it. Like I didn't want it to be so strictly like utility and so strictly space. Like I wanted it to feel like a place where someone could actually like live and feel like a human being for like an extended amount of time. Because whoever's here is gonna be here for like weeks to a month, so like they better be comfortable, I would say. We have that really cool clock on the wall that glows. It's absolutely beautiful, and I imagine that maybe it could like display the time and like different, like on different planets as well, like if the clock changes to show you like different times around, space, which I thought would be pretty cool. And then we just have like little details here and there. So back here is where we have our elevated bed. I imagine that the area like under the bed could also be used as like storage. And the tool mod came so much in handy for this because I always have trouble like placing beds on platforms for some reason. So get used to the tool mod, you guys, because I'm gonna be using it a lot more. I don't know how I was so late to this game in terms of that mod, but like it is a game changer and I'm very excited to begin exploring with it. And if you guys use it, let me know if you have any like tips for it too, because I'm not an expert like with it by any means, so any help would be greatly appreciated. So this is their little nook. This is where they sleep. They have like a closet near the feet so they can, put away their clothes and stuff. And I imagine they would have, like personal photos and, letters and stuff on the wall, just to, like remember their family and the people that, they love and stuff. So there's some photos on there. And yeah, I didn't really think about like this person specifically here, like at this moment right now. Like I said, it's not meant to be built for a specific character, but obviously someone is here right now because there's like personal photos on the wall. So I don't know, let me know like what kind of person do you think would like volunteer for a job like this, or like what kind of future this is that these people live in, because I wonder if this is like a high paying, like really like hard to get job, or if it's like, like any other job. Like it's super like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go like, you know, work on Mars for a couple weeks. Like it's, you know, like just like a temp job, you know what I mean? Like I wonder what kind of future this is where like this kind of work is like accessible to the public. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let's talk about it. Let's come up with some sci-fi headcanons. I love doing that. But yeah, so we have this like wall of shelves along the wall. So this is kind of like a little table where they can eat and stuff or work. There's an iPad there, or probably not like an iPad in this universe, just like some sort of digital tablet. And then we have like shelving on top just for extra storage. And then we're gonna have these books, which I imagine are like science manuals or just like, you know, books about Mars or something. And then back here, we're gonna have like another big closet. I think that's what I put here. Again, for extra storage, because there's honestly like not a lot of space in this tiny little house for this person. As you can see, there's 2 exits, which I felt was pretty important because I feel like in an emergency situation they would need to be able to get out pretty easily, because they're in a dome in space and that's a little bit scary. So I tried to give them, you know, some exit options. But I did imagine that this person can walk like freely from dome to dome through the tubes. Like they don't need to wear like a spacesuit or anything when they like exit this little house. If they want to exit like the dome structure and walk around Mars, they can. They just have to wear like a full body suit and stuff. I did want to like put some sort of like Mars rover or like space sci-fi kind of car that they could like drive around the landscape with. But I actually couldn't find one in terms of like custom content. I was a little bit sad about that. But imagine that this person has some sort of like land rover, I guess, where they can drive around Mars and like collect data and stuff. So I'm gonna put in some tubes in a second that are gonna like exit out of the domes and not really like lead anywhere. So those will be like the dome exits, so that again they can walk around Mars, they can drive around Mars, they can like go wherever they need to go. Oh my god, the tool model was so handy for this. Like, I had no idea how I was gonna do these tubes. And then I saw the spot and I was like, well, bingo, there we go. So this tube is actually gonna lead into like a little structure that's like built into this cliffside. I imagine it has something to do with the solar panels above, like it's some sort of like energy station or something like that. There's just like more science stuff in there. I don't know. It's just science. I don't know. And then this tube back here is gonna be an exit tube. I really wish I had a cool little space vehicle, but I don't. If you guys have any, like, you know, space vehicle CC to recommend me, or just like any custom content at all, especially sci-fi custom content, let me know because I love this stuff. That is the build. Ignore the green stuff, ignore the plants around it, just pretend we're on Mars. I certainly was pretending and I had a great time building this. This was so freaking fun, you guys. So let me know if you guys have any headcanons. Oh, you know, it'd be fun. Let me know if you have any like space station name ideas, because they would definitely call it something like Space Station Alpha or something like that. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any name ideas, character ideas, anything at all, headcanons, challenges, requests. Let's talk, let's discuss. There will be a link to the Discord down below. That's another place where we can chat about these things. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.